Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome back to the new Sandling Junction build. Now what have I got for you today? Well, I got to put my hands up and say not too much has been going on in the last few weeks. I've been very busy, but what I have done I wanted to share with you. So let's roll that intro and let's see what's been going on. Hey everybody, and a warm welcome back. As I said just now, I have got to put my hands up and say not too much has been going on with the layout in the last few weeks. I have been very busy at the gallery. I have been doing a couple of new paintings that I will be bringing out as limited edition prints later on in the spring. And well, at least I hope they'll be out in the spring. I'm working on them as we speak, but it hasn't left me too much time to get up here and play trains, as it were. Done a little bit of work, done a little bit of track laying, and I have also made some plans for the other side here. Now this side has been laid, and you'll see how I got on with that during the course of this video. But the other part is that I suddenly realized that I was talking on the video and said all this and that was going to happen. I suddenly realized that I didn't understand the plan properly. I really did know it before, but it's been a little while and I felt that I needed to study it more. So what I then did is took a step back and stopped laying track and literally got all my old bits of track out, all my points out, and read the plans carefully and started to put points and track down roughly, very roughly. Nothing's laid, nothing's cut, nothing's set up, but it's just to give me an idea of where the track plan will go and how closely I can make the track in reality mimic that of the plan that Julian and I, and indeed James from Dongits, actually worked upon as well. So all in all, not too much has gone on, but I'm going to spin this around at the end of the video and just show you where I'm up to and just conclude it all, and I look forward to catching you the other end of the video. And before I go any further and before I start all of this, may I just say thanks to everybody who does subscribe to the channel, but may I also add that there are many people who watch the channel but are not actually subscribers. And if you're one of those people and you like the content that I put out there, please consider subscribing. If you feel that I've earned your subscription, subscribe to the channel. It only can help me grow to a wider audience. I don't get much from it at all. I just enjoy sharing what I'm doing. But if you help my channel by subscribing and putting comments in and all these different things that you can do, it interacts with the channel and helps the algorithms that run YouTube identify the channel and help push it forward to a bigger audience. So that would be awesome if you do that. Right, okay, enough of all that plugging. Let's get on. Let's see how the track has progressed. See you soon. Hi everybody, welcome back. Now, just now you saw a bit of speeded up footage of me playing around with the track over on this incline. And the thing is that in the previous video, you saw me lay track so far and then have a little bit of track just laying there just to test everything out and make sure it's all working fine. Well, what I've done now in that bit of footage is I've literally cut and laid track down all the way around to here. Now, none of it is stuck down, none of it is fixed in place. It is put there to see if the testing of trains, and I've tested several diesels, long locomotives and carriages as well, to see if there are going to be any running issues on the tightness of the curve. Now fortunately it's all going to be non-scenic, so it doesn't matter how it may look so long as it works, and that's the main thing. So what I've done in trying to straighten out the curves, you know, if you bank into a road in a certain camber and you come out wide on the apex, as it were, a little bit like the racing drivers do in F1, you can, to a degree, straighten out the bend in the road. And that's what I'm trying to do. I know I've got quite a tight curve in the first part, but I'm trying to sweep it in tight to one side, out on the apex to come back in. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been playing with. But then, then everything got the better of me, and I just wanted to see if I could get track sat down without too much of a problem, just even if it's just put there for the sake of running a train round. So I went a little bit further, and that's what I've done. I've started to put track across the little bridge here. As you can see, I have had the outer one running, and I'm going to hook up a piece of track all the way around just for the sake of it, just have a little play and see if I can't get a train running in a full figure of 8 loop. That's the plan. When I've done that, I've finished testing over there. So what I'm going to start doing then is I've got to literally place this track down, put the droppers on, glue it down in place, work my way around to this point here, and on this point here I will have all the tracks set up so that we put those track I don't know what they call them actually, the bit where you can actually put a lift out section in and have these rigid tracks here, same on here and the same on the other side, so that will carry the track across this bridging support. I don't really want to go too much further than there, other than even at this point just having this track set up will be fantastic. But I think long term I've got to look at how I want to create this lift out section, whether it's going to be scenic, what it's going to be. I could be careful and just put the track on and then just use it until such times as I want to make it a permanent feature, with the idea of what I'm going to be doing in terms of scenery. But it's just nice having this sort of bit here and that bit there and having trains go around. So my plan for the rest of the afternoon and a little bit more of this video is to see if I can't just put a piece of track round under here, over here, and have a train run round successfully without derailing, causing me a problem. When I'm happy with that and I'm getting a bit bored with that, then I'll go back to putting the track down and seeing what happens. Anyway, I'll catch you all very, very soon. Wish me luck. So as I said, all I'm doing really is using up some of the odd bits of track just to complete one circuit round. So I can see if I can send trains around on this figure of 8, ducking and diving under what will become quite a usual ducking and diving operation once that track is fully laid and everything is down and that bridge crossover is in place. But yeah, I just got so excited about seeing what would happen and see if I could do it. Okay everybody, well I've just hooked up the center line here as a complete figure of 8. Now none of it is set in stone. There is an awful lot of work before I glue track down, points and other things that go in. I just wanted to see if I could get, for the very, very first time on Sandling Junction, or the new Sandling Junction, a complete circuit where I don't have to go up, stop and back again over a few feet. The train in theory can run all the way around. So that's what I've done. It is just laying there, and I'm sure there'll be, or at least I'm hoping, there'll be enough power running through it without the dropper wires every so often, just to make it all happen. So wish me luck. Let's see if this little Q1 will go round without a problem. Don't let me down. So far so good. Yay, look at that. One complete loop going round the new Sandling Junction build. Can't tell you how pleased I am. And I've got to say a big thank you, of course, to Julian, who has been absolutely instrumental in this whole layout happening. And James also from Dongets has had his input. But I'm so chuffed that I know none of it is set up properly. I've just been a little bit ahead of myself, but I really wanted to see if I could get a locomotive running around here. Proof it does. It's running round. Needs a bit of an oiling, I think. It makes a bit of a squeaky noise. Just going to put on a diesel now to see what that does. Okay, so some might argue right now it's just nothing more than a train set, and you'd be right, but I've waited a long time to see this train set in action, and I'm really chuffed that it's working out well. So from here on in, I'm going to sort of leave things so that I can be connected up very easily and replace track as I need to, going round and until I've got the loops properly finished off. But I am really chuffed, gotta say. Okay, so this section hasn't got any cork on it at the moment, and there will be strips of cork laid in when I know exactly where this track is going to come from. But it's opened out on that far end, and it's not typical of what you would find, but I want to ease the curvature as much as I can. And from about here through, there will be a passover with a single track coming across here, and then a cutting each side, so there will be a tunnel portal about here, and then these roads will go in and disappear out of sight. So what I will be doing is bringing these three roads together in a very much more prototypical way as they come out of that into the cutting, and then finally this section, and then across the bridge here. So that's the plan, but the first things first, I need to go over there and to start working out now exactly where that track is. It's almost in the right place. You've seen trains going around, it works fine. So as long as I don't deviate from that too far, then I'm just going to make things look a little bit nice, natural. And as I said earlier on in this video, that I'm going to try and make sure that I sort of come across an apex out and back in to an apex here and back out. Very much as though you were driving at speed on lots of bends, as they do in car racing, and they straighten out the curve across several bends. And that's what we're trying to do here, so that I can maximize the shortness of the radius that I've got. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that, but also make it a little easier for the trains, especially the big express locos that are going around. They need to be able to get around the tighter one, because we've got one up, one down. I'm not quite sure. I think it's the I'm getting a bit mixed up what's what, but okay, so at this point I haven't really expressed what was going on in my mind. I know the last video, many of you were very, very kind in offering advice on different tools and different devices that I might use to get those curves set up. And I'm sure many of them would have worked. Indeed, I have got a track setter, a complete set. I could have used that. But I was really mindful that it was a very, very tight turn at this point, especially on this end. Not so bad on the other end, because it was straightening out to go across the bridge section. But I had to get it right. And all I could think of was trying to minimize the circumference or the tightness of the curve. Now, fortunately for me, it's all going to be non-scenic, so you don't or will not ever actually see this curve in the open air, as it were. It's going to be covered over by the upper layer, which will have all the fiddle yard area, the working area, the TMD area, and also the turntable. All my shunting will go on up there, so you won't actually see it. But I still need to know that when it is in operation, I'm not going to be crawling underneath it every 5 minutes to try and pick up or recover a locomotive or some carriages that have just fouled. And yeah, so I procrastinated is the long and short of it. And the answer to that is that if you keep procrastinating, nothing's ever going to get done. So in the end, I bit the bullet and I chose to come whatever, get it sorted out and make it happen. I think I did well. I think at the end of the day, I had this idea, as I said right at the start, that I needed to try and straighten out the curves as best I can by swinging out and then coming back in tight on the first bend, trying to even out some of the distances between the tracks. I think we got there. I think I got there anyway, and I have tested it since, and nothing actually has clashed or hit. But that said, I haven't run full trains around there yet, so time will tell, I guess. We'll see what happens. But it did take a long time. All that you've seen in this footage is me laying down or cutting, measuring, marking, dropper wires and gluing down just 6 pieces of track to go from this side to the other side of this loop. But it does complete the circuit, it does complete the first elevation, and now I can start thinking about the bridge bit going across and joining up on the figure of 8 in the future. So yeah, all's well, I hope. We'll see. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. There wasn't too much that has gone on, but the little bit that I did, I had a lot of fun with. A little bit frustrating in ways, and I had to do a lot of testing, especially on this loop to one side, because there are parts where the track got close together and there are parts where the track came further apart. And the reason for that is that I was trying to ease the inner and middle lines. The roads there, they are going quite tightly round, and it's almost to the point where I was running a 9F round and it was derailing. It didn't but it was very close. And so I used it a little bit like a race driver would use several hairpins that they would enter it at one point, cut across, push out to the outside, come across again, and try and straighten out the curve. That's what I was trying to do. I think I got away with it. The big test will be when I got full loops running, and whether any crashes occur through coaches clashing where I got too close and the arc is just too much. I hope I've been very, very thorough in testing that, but I think I have, but time will tell. And I will also show you the planning part of this that I sort of ended up doing in the last few days. So I have decided that I'm going to use new track for all the area that it remains. I have 2 packets. I have 25 lengths of track. 25, sorry, I've got 50 or 48, whatever it is, in a packet, 2 packets, 2 boxes. And they've been and remained untouched. I'm coming to the end of my good second-hand track, and I don't really want to rely on anything that's less than pretty good, especially for the scenic areas. So I'm going to go and open them boxes and lay everything else now with good brand new track, and I will be using the best of the remaining points that I have. So yeah, that's where we go. I'm going to swing you around now. I'm going to show you the loop that's glued down, and I think last time you saw it on the video it was under weights, but it's now running. I haven't wired it up yet. That's the next job, and I'll show you what I've been doing the other end. And in the meantime, as I said earlier, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and all these things. Give me your thoughts, give me any ideas you've got. I really look forward to hearing from people. I'll always read and I'll always comment, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Not quite sure what it's going to be, although there is some laser engraving involved, certainly in one of them, if not more. Catch you all soon. Bye bye. Okay, so this is the end of the video really. I just wanted to sum up what's been going on. Of course, we've seen all of this in the past, and I have been enjoying running a few trains out from this, what will be a hidden underground fiddle yard. I've also, thankfully to the kindness of DCC Concepts, I'll mention it again, where they replaced my 5 amp power unit there, the alpha power, and I'm so grateful. It's meant that I've been able to get back to my Pro Cab and have everything set up, and it seems happily working totally as it should do. So thanks very much, guys. That's much appreciated. Now coming down here, of course you've seen all of this so far. Nothing new in any of this, but I have been enjoying running trains around. And as you saw in the video, I actually created a little loop for a while just to play with trains and see how they did do the figure of 8. So here we go. This is what I had under weights. This is the loop that's gone around, and you can see, I hope, where there are wider parts and narrower parts. Nothing, I hope, will clash. As I said just now, I got to wait until everything is fully up and running before I can test that theory. But I've brought the track to a point here, and there you'll have literally road beds again, because we've got a cutting from about here to here, and I want the trains to disappear without having silly looking sort of sheets of cork right the way across. So they will resort to there. I haven't come any further to the edge here because I do need to employ the DCC Concepts track ends, you know, where you can solder the pieces to, and it's like a permanent fixing. I'm going to put them there and on the bridge, and of course when we get to this side there'll be the same thing here. So I'm planning that once this is done, that will be one of the last jobs I do, because I need to make sure that this works. I say one of the last jobs, it may not be, because I've got the top deck to do. But certainly before the figure 8 is done, I need to make sure that when I come back to here and here, they line up perfectly across here without any dog legs or any issues. So that will be the final part, I think, of the lower section before I go into what will become the not fiddle yard, but the workable area, the TMD, and also the turntable area. So that's all going to go on the top here at some time, hopefully not in the too distant future. But this is the bit that I sort of caused concern with, because I got mixed up on what all these roads did and where they all went to. So this is what I come up with. Now, it is all second-hand track, and it's the best of what I've got left, and if I run out later on, it will be used. It will probably be used behind me on some of the fiddle yard roads on the upper deck when it happens, if I need them. But in the meantime, I've got 2 full new boxes, untouched, unopened, of track which I bought from TMC, and I've had that on hand for the last few months, and it's been waiting to be utilized. And so far I've done very, very well with the carefully lifted second-hand track and all my points. So I've been going through my points, picking out the best of. There are a couple of doggy ones in my collection which will be only used if I'm pushed to, but I've got to say to you right now that I have got so many points from the old build that I will be marketing some of them from double slips all the way through to standard left and right medium turnouts. But I have got an awful lot of points that I will be selling later on once I know what I need here, and I will probably keep 1 or 2 just as spares in case. But you can see how the tracks work. You can see we're coming out here. This is going to come round with a little head shunt I've added that wasn't there before, and I've got 2 roads coming across here, planning on some sort of a beachy scene, something like that, maybe a little docky type area. I'm not too sure how I will make that work at the moment because we've got a flat level, so it may not happen. It may happen that I bring something here as a key and just pull these tracks around a little bit more favorable. But then I've got this area here where we've got the 2 running lines, the 2 main lines are coming through here. One will be a run through, I think you call it, where it will not stop, and the other one, I don't see how I'm going to make that work. I've got to try and figure this out, because these 2 are definitely the 2 running lines here, and unless I've got that, still got that wrong, it's possible, anything's possible with me, I think confusing myself, but somewhere in there is going to be an island platform with 1 track one side, 1 track the other side, and they will be servicing that little station there. And here, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. So, yeah, I'm sure Julian will remind me at some point when I talk to him next. And if you've got any ideas, then let me know. But then, of course, we've got the single line running around the top here, coming down to meet everything else at this point where we've got a double slip and virtually the ability to cross and play around. And this will then come down to the bridge or the lift out section once more. So that's the plan. So there you go. I'm gonna leave you to get on. As I said just now, wishing you all the best, and once again, don't forget to like, subscribe and all those things, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care everybody. Bye bye.